know what time it is. It's your boy DJ Richie Skye back with some tea, interviews, recaps, and more. And be sure to check the links in the description of this video for trips, for books, one-on-one sessions, and more. Now let's get into the tea. What go on, Sky Squad? What a go on? It is Saturday, and we are here for this Belle Collective recap. Okay, we're going to do the Belle Collective recap, but before we get into the Belle Collective recap, we are actually going to start with some Married to Medicine news. We're going to start with some Married to Medicine news. I'm going to let my people come into the room. Let the people come into the room. And when you come into that good room, make sure you say hallelujah. Or just say hello. And tell us where you're watching from while I pull up this Belle Collective episode description. All right. Let's get this thing going because it's Saturday and we got things to do. What's going on? St. Louis in the building. I see Georgia in the building. How you doing? Hey, ATL, Oregon, Bloomfield, Baton Rouge, North Carolina, Memphis, baby. I see you, Denver, Colorado. I had an internship in Denver. I absolutely love Denver. That is one beautiful city right there, baby. If you don't know, hallelujah, from Columbia, South Carolina. Toronto's in the building. We worldwide up in here. We got the DMV in the house, Cleveland, Hampton. I see you, Maryland, as the people say. Tennessee. I see you, VA, baby. H-Town. Georgia, Athens, Georgia. Duval. So I did tell my agency team that I wanted to go ahead and hop on this live show situation. So we'll be working on that for 2025. So I need to know where to go, right? I know I definitely need to hit up New York. I definitely need to hit up, I'm assuming Georgia, right? Maybe Philly, definitely something in DC, maybe Charlotte. I don't know. We'll just figure it out as we go along. We'll take it step by step, but we're going to definitely do it in 2025 because, listen, if I'm going to go out, we need to go out with a bizang, okay? We need to go out of this thing with a bang because what I realized was when I did my group trip to Bali, it was something real different. Like doing a live is probably the closest thing to what I can say that I can experience is that we get to experience each other like this, right? In the comments, and it's so interactive, right? So Richie in chat, yes, I love that. Renee says, I'll meet you wherever. Okay, maybe Jamaica. Listen, I'm trying to figure it out. We'll get it all figured out, and we'll try to space it out, month by month through the year. But I realized during our group trip to Bali, for those who can't travel out of the country, what is another way that, we can all commune and gather together and have a nice little ponderosa? And that's if I come to you, right? So if you can't come out of the country for whatever reason, because listen, life be lifing. Trust me, I understand that better than I think anybody right now, just kind of dealing with family stuff that it at times, you got to do what you got to do, and you can't always move like you want to move. And that's just life. But if there's a way I could come to y'all, then let's do that. All right. So listen, who knows? Listen, I'm going wherever the Lord takes me. I know our boy Kempire was in London. I know that was a time. I hope you got a chance to see him. That's somebody, if you get to see live, go see him. He is hilarious. He's a sweetheart. He is just, I can't say enough good words about him. I need to have him on the channel so we can have a little ponderosa ourselves as well. Oh, and this week I will be on Brooke Ashley's channel as well. So make sure you guys check us out this week. More details to come with that. Brooke is my homegirl. When I met her in person, her and her mom look like they could be like BFF sisters. Like they are just both so beautiful. like in real life, you know, it's just like, it's like two models walking into a building, right? Anyway, so now that I've gotten the introductions out of the way, I know some people gonna be like, when the video gonna start? When the video gonna start? So I'm gonna make sure I put chapters in here so that people that watch later can come on into the chapters, right? So let's just before I do that, before I get into it, while y'all here, I went to go see this movie last night, y'all. I went to see a screening of this. If you like a good vampire movie, I'm gonna tell y'all this movie, it don't come out until the 25th. So for whatever reason, they put it out on Christmas Day. If you like a good vampire movie, if you like what I'm gonna call vampire erotica, and if you want to be scared, the people that I went with all had their eyes covered half through three-fourths of the film. Okay. If you want to see a good old vampire movie that's going to give you the creeps, then this is the movie. Please go see it. I got invited to a special screening last night here in DC, and baby, it was everything I needed it to be in a scary movie, because I love me a vampire movie. So definitely go see this. Go see it. Okay? Make your way. Trust and believe. If you're looking for something to be scared about, that'll do it. That'll do it. All right, so let's talk about Miss Quad. Miss Quad, she got it. She got it. Okay. And I'm gonna put the alleged badge up just because Phaedra's an attorney. Yes, Renee, it's a good old scary movie. Phaedra's an attorney, and I don't want no litigations. Okay. Because this is Miss Quad saying this. Miss Quad, she got it. She got it. Dr. Heavenly had told us earlier this week that there was a meeting that was led by Phaedra that was apparently an attempt to get Miss Quad fired. Now, when or axed or put off the show or whatever like that, right? And shout out to our friends at the Bravo Shade Room. Shout out to the Big Ticket Morning Show. We're gonna like listen to excerpts of this like in a recap format, so I do have to talk in between playing bits and bytes of it. Okay, so what I want you guys to understand is I was trying to understand the timeline, because in my mind I'm like, well, didn't they already had almost successfully got her off the show when Dr. Simone told her she need to get on from that trip? So I was like, why would there need to be a second? So apparently there was a second meeting to get Quad off of the show. Now, I don't know who all was in this meeting, but it was led by Phaedra. Toya online made it seem like she didn't know anything about this meeting. Dr. Heavenly says that she wasn't at the meeting, but was told by Dr. Jackie. Quad in this interview says that it was told to her by several people and then confirmed by Dr. Heavenly. So who else could it have been that might have been trying to get Quad off the show? Who does that really leave that's got any power in this situation? So if we take a listen to it, and we're just going to listen to some bits and bobs, okay? And I want to get you guys' opinion on what you think.
I have always had an affection for Phaedra. We've kind of always been cool.
Yeah.
Up until the television thing came on board with Married to Medicine, when I helped to bring her on board.
Mm-hmm.
You notice Quad gonna mention I helped to bring her on board. Okay, I want to let it be known. It was I who filmed with her and helped her get her on the show.
And I did sit in on the audition tape or whatever for her, whatever. And I wanted her to be a part of the show. I thought she would be a great addition. Unfortunately, as I was trying to help her kind of usher her in, she was trying to usher me out. And
see, so this is where, and let me tell you how the trick. See, the explanation is misleading, right? It's a little misleading, because what she says here is as I was trying to usher her in, she was trying to usher me out. That timeline is not actually accurate, it sounds like, because later on what Quad will say is that the reason that Phaedra allegedly led the charge of this meeting to have her fired was because Quad had said that Phaedra had been benched from Real Housewives of Atlanta for 5 years because of Kandi. But I thought Quad said that in response to Phaedra saying that she revived Married to Medicine. So I'm now confused about, did this meeting happen just the other month, but right before Phaedra? I gotta get into it some more because I'm trying to understand the timeline, and the timeline is I'm a timeline person. Okay, I'm a timeline person, so I needed to add up. Quad is referring to a separate mission led by Far after the season 10 had ended, before she got the opportunity to return to Real Housewives of Atlanta. That's what Team Kandi always says on here, because it's the timeline for me that I need to understand. So if that might clear it up.
And so she created, there was a meeting that was led by her. I'm just saying what it is. Yeah. There was a meeting that was led by her, George, to get me fired. Whoa. And that was before all the additional opportunities came, like, Dancing with the Stars, and I think it was Traders first, Dancing with the Stars, that then led to her coming back onto Atlanta House. But you already had.
So, okay, now, if it was before Dancing with the Stars, she said that she revived Married to Medicine while she was on Dancing with the Stars, because that came from an interview clip. And then I thought it was that Quad had responded that she was benched for 5 years because of Kandi. I'm trying to put together the timeline, and I'm like, I still don't understand.
That's such a huge impact. So why would she think that they would get rid of you?
Well, it was a lot going on last season. You understand? And a lot of times people like to control you. Okay, and I'm not really one to be controlled.
Okay.
But why would Phaedra wasn't the one that had the problems with Quad? I guess I'm just trying to understand. Am I missing something? Because I could be slow. I do have a very bad headache right now. So I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Like, my head is pounding. I literally had one rum and coke last night, and I feel like it is taking me out. Okay. Like, what has happened? One rum and coke and I'm done. Anyway, TMI.
Okay. But so when to know that really was disheartening.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So
and you didn't get that from me.
Well,
Dr. Heavenly, you told us last week that she got it from you.
Come on, Quad.
But Dr. Heavenly gonna be like, I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna take it back. Maybe that's what she did with Quad. She said, I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna take it back. So I really didn't say it.
Just you, right? I will say this. Yes, I did get that from Heavenly, but it did not.
Quad, you can't even continue. Quad said, let me run this bus over you real quick.
Start and begin with Heavenly.
Okay. But the confirmation.
One thing about it, a lot of things come across my desk too.
Sure.
And that came across my desk by a number of people, and then actually Heavenly put the confirmation on it.
Oh, okay. So as I told y'all, she says that Heavenly put the stamp on it.
I just heard it from people, but Heavenly was in the inside at that time. And it put a stamp on it. And I was like, damn, Phaedra, like, that's what we're doing? Like, I really didn't understand why.
It's still not lining up for me.
What you do there? You understand? Like, you were there. You were already in.
Did you talk to her about it?
She said that she didn't do it.
So, interestingly enough, I'm still upset about this timeline. And let me tell you why. The reason why I'm because she says she's going to confront Phaedra about it in an episode when they're headed to the Dude Ranch, which is coming up. That would have been filmed before Phaedra ever did Dancing with the Stars. She would have had to have finished her obligations with Married to Medicine before that happened. So when did this meeting happen? I'm confused. Somebody got to make this make sense to me.
She said, I wonder how did you hear that? Were you just saying it to say? I said, I don't say anything just to say it. I don't do anything for television. I don't say things just for the thrill of it. You did it.
So where are y'all now?
I haven't spoken with her.
Would you be open to like sit down with her and she say, hey, you know?
Quad will go on to describe a moment where, again, if she's talking about last season, then it doesn't really make sense because she is saying that. Listen, okay, continue. Okay, I wasn't going to listen.
I don't know. You know,
here's the thing. Let me say this. There is a scene.
This is where the timeline is going to stop making sense to me. Okay. And this is maybe where some of you guys will catch up with my timeline issue.
That we filmed this season of Married to Medicine. We were at the Dude Ranch. Okay. And Phaedra, they some kind of way, they mixed up our luggage. And in any way, they had Phaedra to walk my luggage to me. And I was wondering, like, why is she lingering around?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's talking about this season. Keep up. Like, I just want it to be known. The Dude Ranch is coming up.
Still lingering. And she was lingering around, and you know, she wanted to talk, and she said, hey, I want to, talk to you. And she said, what's happened? I said, you tried to give me fired, Phaedra.
Okay. Remember, the Dude Ranch is coming up this season.
Mm-hmm.
And this was on cameras and everything.
Right.
And she said, where'd you get that from? I wouldn't do that. I said, yes, you did. You did. And then.
Okay. Let's continue.
And so she talked about it, and she apologized for it. And then, she did not like that I said that Candy bitched her for 5 years.
Okay. This is where the timeline is confusing. She says that she talked to Phaedra about it. Phaedra apologized and said it was because Quad said that Candy had benched her for 5 years. I got to remember, when did Quad say that? I thought Quad said that after, and I could be wrong. Again, my head is hurting. I could be wrong, but I didn't think Quad said that until Phaedra had said that she revived Married to Medicine, and I thought that Quad had said that during the live with Dr. Heavenly. So that's why I'm confused on the timeline. And I will readily admit, that's what I'm saying, J. Lamar, that's what I'm saying. That statement was just made. So when did this occur? And then then they need to show that footage then, because I need to see that footage. Like, if Phaedra is telling her in real time, back in whenever this was filmed, May, June, early April, May, June, Phaedra just said that not too long ago. And it wasn't too long ago that Quad and Dr. Heavenly responded to that. So how could Phaedra be angry about something that's happening in the future? Unless there's something we don't know. And I will concede that there could be something we don't know. And I will let it be that. But to my knowledge, it wasn't until Phaedra said what she said that Quad made that statement that she was benched from Real Housewives of Atlanta. Because up until that point, there was no real reason for Quad to have ever say that. So I'm just trying to, that's what I'm trying to understand. So hopefully they can clarify that in a live or something, because otherwise I don't understand that timeline. So Nora Sam says Quad said that on Fox Soul in response to her attaching herself to the Titanic. I thought Phaedra called Real Housewives of Atlanta the Titanic at that point in time. Because remember, before Phaedra got back onto the show when she was promoting Married to Medicine, she called Real Housewives of Atlanta the Titanic. She didn't call Married to Medicine the Titanic. She called Real Housewives of Atlanta in that incarnation, season 15, the Titanic. From my memory. Hey, boo. The Kenneth Perry says she said it during Carlos King interview. I guess I need to go back and watch it then. I mean, maybe I'm sure I could have missed something. I readily admit it could be me again. My head is hurting, and maybe my memory ain't correct right at this moment, and so I'm gonna blame it on that. Markel Green says Quad said that when she was a guest on TGIF. Oh, okay. Well, all right then. That satisfies that. You know, that's the thing about doing a live. It's like a game of Clue, right? Baby, because I don't be like I mean, and thank God, because you know, again, I don't see everything that goes on. So I'm glad that somebody could point it out to me. Quad said that she was benched 9 months ago or so. There are videos about it on YouTube. I just Googled a few. All right. Case closed. Case closed. Problem solved. Okay. There we go. We're going to rely on our squad. And now we have solved the riddle. We have solved the case. Okay. All right. So let's get into this Belle Collective recap. I do remember that, Leo, that it was alleged that Phaedra had rebooked her trip so she wouldn't have to fly with Quad. Nikisha says Phaedra is that girl. Thank you for the super chats. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. Okay. All right. So let's get into Belle Collective. We are talking season 5, episode 7. Also, just to let you guys know, Belle Collective has somebody said headache gone. No, the headache's still here, boo. The headache is still here. It's like Mystery Inc. over here. Baby, we driving around in the mystery machine, okay? Trying to solve the case. Just put me on the episode of How to Get Away with Murder. Actually, no, because they all, no. Put me on, no, that show going off the air. Put me on the Equalizer, okay? Put me on there. Put me on, I was about to say put me on Law and Order, because that show going to last, and that show's going to last 100 seasons, okay? Meanwhile, shout out to Married to Medicine, because I mean, we talking about it. So there you go. Anyway, Belle Collective. All right, Belle Collective has been renewed for season 6. Just to let you guys know, for those of you guys that are Belle Collective fans, we will have yet another season to watch our Belles, go to brunch, and auger and whatnot, and hopefully keep it light and fluffy. Okay. But based on the end credits of this week and the preview for next week, it looks like there's a big old brawl, and I don't think that things are going to be light and fluffy from here on out. So, because it looks like the men are fighting. Wanna be starting something, you got to be starting something. I said you wanna be starting something, you got to be starting something. So I feel like Glenn and Willie, it looked like from the preview for next week, they about to brawl. Okay, it's about to be the all-out brawl at the Taste opening. Okay. I don't know if y'all peeped that. So spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alerts. Okay. And it's been building up. That has been building up. Glenn has been feeling some type of way about Willie. Cliff has been feeling some type of way about Willie. Even in this episode, Willie has recognized that he is the villain among the men. And, that was interesting to me. Very interesting, because I thought it was some good foreshadowing based on what it looks like next week. Ooh, I wonder if I got that screen up for next week. Anyway, I mean, I can't, I can't review it till next week, but I kind of want to watch it. We'll see. We'll see. I usually try to watch my screeners like right before the day before the episode, so I don't go too far ahead, because I like to just stay on track, and I like to keep my feelings how they feel right now in the moment after. And today I just watched the episode. I didn't get to watch the screener. But I'm going to read y'all the episode description. It says, Sophia and Selena finally confront their past. So let's start there. All right. Let's start there, because that's where the episode begins. If I had to rate this episode on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this episode a solid 10. It satisfied me. It brought me, I did get a little misty eyed as my head was banging. But this moment between Selena and Sophia was really, really good. I mean, it had some shade being thrown, and I felt like Selena wanted to clarify, girl, in this instance, you lunged at me. So if you lunge at me, I am going to defend myself. Period. And that's why I kept saying last week that I can't recall how the fight escalated other than the shady interaction after Selena spoke to Sophia. I really thought I remember it sprawling, it spiraling out of control after Selena spoke to Sophia. It popped off. And I can't say for certain that it was Sophia that started it, because I could not see it. But in this moment, Sophia does not dispute what Selena is saying. It just so happens to sound like, as a result of the incident, that Sophia may or may not have lunged at her first. She actually was the first to press charges, or at least the only to press charges. So I'm kind of like, that's an interesting space to be in. And I did love, though, that where they were able to finally get to, because Selena is, clearly hurt, and has been hurting about this situation. So I'm just trying to like, it was a good, I was reading the comments, so I got distracted by the comments. It was a good moment to see the two of them like actually hug and embrace and apologize to one another. That's something I feel like has been a long time coming, and it's something that we don't always get to see on some of these shows. Sometimes people will get to that level of physical altercation and never be able to come back from it. And for them to realize that the greater good is the family is basically the most important thing. And I thought that was dope. I thought that was great. Now, inside, you have Latrice, who is hungry, and it is Marie who is fixing her a hamburger. Okay? Like, that's the type of like interactions that I want to see moving forward from Latrice and Marie, because this whole Latrice versus Marie, I am tired of it. Okay? I am tired. I am weary. I am, I am just done with it. So it's so nice to see, and I've always felt like this. If they could get past their issues and what they've done to each other, then they could actually be quite funny together. And that was why, because they were able to kind of put that behind them. And I thought that was nice of Marie to fix her a hamburger. And then the men come back in and they tell the men all the good news. But JJ is unhappy with Selena and Sophia making up with each other. Now, I have a problem with JJ. My problem with JJ is he says something later on in the episode when Sophia is telling him that she made up with him with Selena for the family. And he says something to the effect that the only people I'm concerned about are my daughter's children. If you're so concerned about your daughter's children, then why aren't you at your daughter's children's events? Why aren't you at your daughter's events? Why is it what I get that you listen, I totally get that you do not like your ex. I totally get that. But at the end of the day, that is your child, that's your children's mama. And you was with her for a reason. And now that you are not, I don't know what happened with y'all. I don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out it was something dramatically toxic. But what I do know is that your daughters are feeling the impact of what you are doing to them on national television. You are punishing them by way of their mother. You are punishing them because they are standing by their mother. Their mother, who is also now just made up with your wife. So the picture that is being painted is this. As Sophia is meeting up with her daughter D, her daughter D tells her, I need you to be there for me the way that you're there for your husband. Now, I do agree that when you get married, it's supposed to be your marriage above all else. But I don't think all else comes at the expense of your children. Because D tells Sophia, I feel like you aren't supporting me the way you support that man. And then vice versa, JJ's daughters are being left out of his life altogether because they're standing by their mama. Now, again, these are some family dynamics that I readily admit that I don't know all the dynamics of. But what I do know is at this point, at least on TV, it looks like you, JJ, are punishing your kids for some stuff that you don't like about your ex-wife. Your issue is with her, and it is not with your kids. But at the end of the day, that is the woman that you had kids with. So you need to own that. Now, you ain't got to be her best friend. You ain't gotta kiki with her on the telephone. You ain't got to, listen, at a certain point in time, but you can't keep punishing your girls because they sticking up for their mama. That's what they supposed to do. That's what they're supposed to do. And so my hope for JJ is that he comes around, and I get that you may never really, truly like, trust, or whatever with Selena, but she don't got no issue with you. You got the biggest issue with her, and I don't. It makes it's curious to me why, as you're married to someone else, you aren't the person trying to fix it with your kids. It's falling on Sophia so much so that she is not even able to give the attention to her daughter, and you don't even see that because you are being so selfish that it is all about you. So much so that at your wife's event, which goes amazingly well, so Sophia wanted to put on a health event. She had Akeisha's help. She confided in Akeisha that she was so busy trying to help JJ and his family that she was neglecting her own, as Dee has told her to her face, that it's time for her to focus on her. And so as she puts on this beautiful event, this beautiful mental health and wellness event, just about the entire cast is there, I think, except for Marie. When they all get together at the end, JJ confronts Letitia about inviting Selena. And I love Letitia's reaction. Listen, because here's the thing. I go back to, if I'm just looking at the show, right? If I'm just looking at the show itself and not what's happening on social media right now, if I just look at the show, based on the show itself, Selena and Sophia have made up. Now, JJ's daughters don't believe it's for real. They think that Sophia's trying to do damage control. I just believe personally that I didn't really like that aspect of it because I felt like it benefits everybody if Sophia and Selena get along. However they can. It benefits everybody, right? And so now at your wife's event, you are choosing to come at Letitia about bringing Selena around. Was that the time or the place to talk about it? I don't know. I can't really say because it's reality TV and you got to get it out some kind of way if that's how you feeling. But Letitia is basically shutting him down like, listen, this is my event. My event. Now, where I did think that Letitia was incorrect was, as Letitia says, I invited people to my event and I can't control who comes. You did know that she was going to be a greeter because you asked her to be a greeter. So you did know she was going to be there. That's just the truth of the matter. It is. But Glenn, in this moment, does not appreciate JJ coming at his wife and is going to talk to him about this later. Okay? That's coming up. So Latrice and Cliff clash over their upcoming grand openings. I don't understand this grand opening situation. Goddess Lens is doing a grand opening and Taste is doing a grand opening on the same day. They should have had these events on two separate weeks or something like that. I don't know why they would do this. Even though the two places are across the street, I got to have one party over here at one time, and then I got to lead the herd over to the next party at 2 hours later. Like, I guess, I mean, okay. But I think it adds to the confusion, it adds to the pressure. And as I wouldn't advise it because I just feel like it's just too much. Make it two separate things. You got two separate events. Call it Christmas. I mean, that's my thing. And then, Cliff want to go and add a third element by celebrating Glenn's birthday. So now you have made your grand opening about somebody else. I mean, okay. Whatever. I would have had these things on two separate days, to be quite honest with you. That way, Latrice, you could have had your moment to shine with your Goddess Lens opening, and then Cliff and Taste and Glenn, y'all can have y'all bro moment. with the birthday and the grand opening. I mean, that's just the easy solution to that. Dee takes a stand, prompting Sophia to make a big decision, which we talked about. JJ and Letitia lock horns at Sophia's health fair and Marie's graduation party. Now, at Sophia's health event, when JJ is coming at her, you know, it wasn't nasty. It was direct and kind of playful. But Glenn feels like if you got a problem with her, you come to me. And so the next time that happens will be at Marie's graduation party, for which Latrice is not invited. What I will say is this episode, I think, showed Marie in a much better light. This is a much, to me, Marie in this element is what I want to see more of. She seemed happier, lighter. It seemed like she had let go of some of this animosity with Latrice. So she had freed herself in some way, shape, or form, and she's getting her doctorate, for which we got to acknowledge that. That's huge. And so congratulations to Marie on that. Essie, as we can see, is still going through it with the lung situation, which hits super close to home for me right now. But, you know, we're going to wish her and pray for her and send some good vibes her way. Marie is still a little upset with Letitia over her banners stuff disappearing from last week's event, but they're able to squash that and move past it real quick, which was nice. We still don't know what happened to them banners. Marie's graduation party, Tambra speaks, which is nice. They've come a long way, even though we never got to see what the resolution was. We know that they are much better now. And then I think it's Marie's cousin that gets and speaks for her as well. So it was nice. And then Letitia and Glenn show up, and then Sophia and JJ show up. Now, when this happens, Glenn pulls JJ aside and is like, hey, listen, you know, you confronted my wife the other day about, you know, inviting Selena. And, you know, I just didn't think that was appropriate. I think you should have came to me. And I had to respect Glenn for that because I just respected it. I respected it. Even though I didn't feel like JJ was coming at her crazy per se, I do appreciate that he did have his wife's back. But Letitia said, oh, no. Y'all don't think y'all going to be having no kind of scene over here without me. Okay. So her and Gucci run over Sophia. I'm sorry. I'm trying to call her what she. Okay, so let me explain something to y'all. I use Gucci and titles on the videos for SEO purposes. Meaning, if I'm mentioning Gucci in the title of a video, it is because that is what she has been known by. So it's easier for people to recognize if they maybe have watched past seasons of the show, but may not have caught up on this season, to understand that we are now calling her Sophia. So until we've reached a point in time where it has been widely known and embraced, you may see me write Gucci in the headline or the title of a video. So that is the reason why. It is not a disrespect thing. It is simply a thing that seems to make the most sense in my mind for people who may not keep up day to day with this show. Okay? Now, Wit smacked. I ain't seen nothing about that. We're gonna say allegedly on that. I don't know that. I don't. I need to understand where that's coming from. I haven't seen that. Anyway, that's how I get caught up. Now I got to go down a rabbit hole when I get done with this video. But anyway, so Letitia gets involved and she's like, listen, you know, Sophia, I thought that this whole thing was squashed. Y'all made up, y'all good. You know, we squashed it that night. Why are we still talking about this? And in fact, it was actually Glenn that brought it up, but only because JJ was still talking about it later. And you know, I felt Letitia was like, I'm moving on past this. Like I'm moving on beyond this. I thought y'all were good. I don't care no more. I'm done with it, essentially. So it seems like they come to some like resolution. It didn't end on a nasty note, but it ended on a interesting to be continued type of note. That's all I can say. So it did seem like they kind of wrapped up several things as we enter this next portion of the season. So I'll be interested to see how things unfold next week and how they roll it out for us. Barbara says it was Cliff who scheduled the event on the same day and then run it by his wife. Oh. Okay. So anyway, that's what we are. Listen. The Married to Medicine is blowing up as it does every season. And so we're just going to keep tuning into that. I do have a couple of one-on-one sessions open for today because I wanted to make some time for people. If anybody wanted, if you want, I know some people were looking for like YouTube consultations and stuff like that, or just like one-on-ones. You can click down in the link down below and get that information. Of course, we have our Cape Town trip coming up April 10th through the 17th. We're going to be looking at real estate, dual citizenship, visas, looking at land and homes and property, while also doing all the Cape Town things, the safaris, the wine tours, some of my favorite restaurants, meeting up with some expats who have, transitioned from the United States to South Africa. And then, of course, we have Zanzibar coming up September 22nd through the 28th. If you want to sign up for that, you better do it fast because you can get $300 off before somebody else does. That's in the link down below. And of course, you guys can text 202-918-3386 to learn about Rich Life and the opportunity to get a free cruise that is only going on in this month. Okay, the month of December. So timing is everything. All of my people that have come on in have already gotten their free cruise. I mean, and that's just it. It's just easy. But it is a way for you to get deep discounts on travel and get paid every single day. So text Rich Life, all caps, to 202-918-3386. And with that being said, y'all, it's Saturday. Go out, get out, and do something. I will do actually, you know what? I'll probably do another one of those for today. I got to go to the gym. So when I'm out driving, I will set up my camera and give y'all a little chit chat. You know what I'm saying? And I'll maybe post that a little bit later. All right. So with that being said, y'all, make sure y'all stay safe out there. Y'all know I love y'all, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks for tuning in. Now that you've watched today's video, let's get into this group trip to Cape Town, South Africa. Yes, y'all, Skye Squad, we are hitting South Africa, and we are hitting it hard. April 10th through the 17th of 2025. You can click the link in the description of this video to get more information and to reserve your spot. Now, we're going to keep this intimate because we have a lot to do. We are going to be looking at real estate. We're going to be learning about retirement and permanent visas, dual citizenship, buying and purchasing land. We are going to be looking at it all because we want options in South Africa, baby. And listen, Cape Town is one of my favorite cities. So of course, we're going to be doing some of my favorite things. We are going to be hitting the wineries. We are going on a safari. We're going to Table Mountain. We're going to some of my favorite restaurants. Let me tell you, one of them is Gold Star, baby. If you know, you know. We're going to be meeting with some expats who have relocated from the United States to Cape Town as well. This is going to be a luxury experience, okay? So we're talking doing the absolute most. So if you've ever wanted to go to Cape Town, South Africa, but maybe you didn't have the group to go with, maybe you just didn't have the right people that wanted to go and experience it with you, this is an opportunity for you to come with us. Now, I only have about 10 to 12 spots available. Yes, because again, I'm trying to keep this thing intimate, and I know that what type of experience I want it to be. So get in while you can, y'all. Trust me, in 2025, we are going to be needing all the options that we can get. And I am going to do my utmost to bring us the most that we can possibly get in and out of the country. So come with me to South Africa. The group trip is going to be lit April 10th through the 17th. Go ahead and click the link in this description of this video so that you can reserve your spot today. Cape Town, South Africa awaits.